I recognize the importance that sex plays in the life of man. Nature has made its attraction irresistible to ensure the perpetuity of the race. As for myself, I have found that the thinker is confronted with the problem of perpetuating either the species or the mind. It is almost impossible, at least in certain realms of high endeavor, to do both. This has been recognized by the Hindus, whose adepts practice complete sexual abstinence, and by many of the great religions. Before I produced the rotating magnetic field, I concentrated all my powers upon my experiment. The strain would have killed 100 oxen. I certainly could not have survived it if I had permitted my energies to be diverted into the channels of sex. Excess sexual activity leaves little room for mental activity. A mind well engaged in the mental realms of work and problem solving will find it easier to avoid the impulses of a sexual nature. It has been said that starving the sexual appetite nourishes the mental faculties, and this will increase thought power, the very operating system of your existence. A brain with stronger functioning will be more adept at materializing their ideas into reality. They will have a higher ability to make their ambitions and dreams a reality. The SR manuscript. 2 years of writing and research on the topic of semen retention. If you wish to physically own a copy of the ancient archives, then this book is for you. You must find something to become passionate about. This is the most effective way to stop relapsing, because when you have a passion or interest, it keeps your attention focused and prevents your mind from wandering into the direction of sexual fantasy. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. A mind absent of purpose and activity becomes an idle mind, and an idle mind will lead the retainer to thoughts of a self-centered nature, thoughts of indulgence, thoughts of sex, and this will inevitably bring about a relapse. You don't decide to relapse when you are moving and doing things. You relapse when you are still and bored. An idle state will lead you down the dark recesses of your mind, into areas that are not productive, into negative domains, into evil. Humans were born for productive and reproductive purposes. To remain idle is to go against nature, and as we know, all transgressions against nature will come at a heavy cost to the individual. This world and everything in it exists within the rules of creation, within the laws of nature. Deeds of a creative nature will serve to generate the individual, to improve his state in many ways. Actions of a destructive nature will cause destruction to the individual and hasten his departure from the physical realm. All those that abide by nature's laws are living more in harmony with life and health. The procreative faculties were designed strictly for procreation, and any use outside of this is a transgression of nature. To go down the road of idleness and laziness is to lead yourself to evil and misfortune. To become idle is to become inherently selfish, and if continued over time, it will wear away at your very soul. It invites dangerous excesses into your life. Your purpose in life is to be productive, and without that purpose, you begin to rot. Your moral fibers gradually erode, and your sense of humanity dissipates. Take this as a dire warning, one that you may have overlooked for a long time in your life. You must not remain idle. You need to find something to do within your limited time here on earth. An objective to carry out, preferably an objective that will benefit both yourself and the world, or a part of the world, something that would be helpful to others in some way. Living for the pursuit of self-pleasure will not provide you with a strong sense of purpose. If you live without a strong purpose, over time you will come to feel it in your soul. A sense of dullness and apathy for the world develops. If you tie your goal to helping others in some way, you will find a purpose beyond yourself that will give you ultimate fulfillment in life. And a life well lived brings about a good death. We can leave this world with contentment and happiness in knowing that we played our parts well. Once you find out what you want to do with your life, it will energize you when you get out of bed in the mornings. It will make you want to move, to laugh, to experience things. Chasing a pursuit in life will give you ultimate satisfaction beyond the temporary physical pleasures of existence. Nothing has prevented me from relapsing more than having a purpose to pursue, coupled with a partner or a companion to share living arrangements with, and the chances of relapse will go down dramatically. If you're struggling to fight sexual urges and avoid relapsing, then best is to fill your time with things to do so that your mind doesn't wander. As Isaac Newton said, the way to chastity is not to struggle directly with incontinent thoughts, but to avert the thoughts by some employment, or by reading, or meditating on other things. If you are struggling on semen retention, then start taking action. Make a plan. Get busy. Stop squandering your time away in idleness. Realize you were brought here to this world to be of use to it, to do something. If you haven't found it yet, start looking. If you've found it already, then start working. Hard work, day by day, will eliminate failure from your life. It will build immense value inside of you. Continued over the long term, you will find out exactly why you have been put here on earth. Stop looking for a break or an easy way out. Be willing to work hard. Work yourself to fatigue, and then when you're finished, you can sleep well. Nothing beats the restfulness one feels after completing a hard day's work towards their future. Throw out and discard all things that are useless to you. Things that sap your time and energy. Simplify your life. The more useless time you cut out, the more time you inject back into your mission. Semen retention will give you a seemingly infinite battery source of power to carry out your work. The intensity of your work will multiply. People will sense the quality of work made at your hand when retaining, because you have injected your sexual energy into its creation. You have transmuted your sexual energy and utilized it for creative purpose. Your strict efforts to retain your seminal essence will not go unrewarded. As you work in line with nature, nature begins to manifest itself from within you. Many of the great minds of the past lived continent lives. Many of their works were said to be touched by genius, or connected to the divine. This is that very quality of nature that you inherit when preserving the sexual forces of life within your body. When you avoid excitation of the genitals, you avoid subsequent secretions of the reproductive glands. It is said by yogis and in old texts that when the secretions are avoided, then the system need not be drained of nutrients and energy for the purposes of creating more sperm. Thus it is said that this life energy remains in a subtle state, coursing through the blood and organs of the retainer and vitalizing all parts of his being. This subtle energy is much like a form of electricity, a bioelectricity that powers our thoughts and movements. The secret of sexual energy preservation has been known since the first ancient books of man appeared many thousands of years ago. They are written in the scriptures. They are from the principles of various ancient faiths. Preserve the seed. Do not expend it for any reason other than procreation. The semen you contain is of immense physiological value. It is the spark in your eyes, the heat of your blood, the root of your thoughts. It is life itself in physical form. Every ejaculation contains within it a portion of your own life. It is not something to be wasted. Think of this the next time you have an urge to ejaculate. You are not only losing semen, you are losing talent, ability, attractiveness, health, and life itself.